Hi, my name is Karen, and I'm here to tell you a story. Just pretend that I'm sitting across from you, or at the other end of the couch, or both just sitting on the floor. And today I'll tell you a story about a husband and a wife who struggle to define their relationship with art and each other. This one is called The Fine Art of Goldfish by Kristie Smeltzer. On my way home from teaching at Phillips Prep, I see a yard sale with a table of bottles and jars. My wife, Marielle, is a photographer, an artist who gets completely lost in her work, which makes me worry for our children. We met in art school. Now I teach art, and she makes art to sell, succeeding mostly. Her newest project involves colored glass bottles with wide mouths. That's all I know. I stopped to peruse the bottles. An interestingly shaped squat bottle would be perfect, except it's clear. A translucent brick red bottle would work, but for its small mouth. None of the others are even close to the bottles Marielle's been bringing home. A cobalt blue vase on another table catches my eye. In my former life, I was an oil painter, but it was too messy a profession. I've painted many an ocean, cobalt, and other blues dancing in the waves. The vase is bigger than others Marielle's brought home, but maybe it'll work. The top is shaped like a Victrola cone, narrowing in the neck and then expanding to a wide base. The vase's shape and color please me, so I risk it and hand the yard sale's proprietor $2. At home, Marielle's in our backyard with the kids. She absent-mindedly kisses my cheek, then resumes standing over the children, looking with one eye closed. Lana sprawls in the grass, wearing a bright orange kid bikini with torn clover stems strewn across her stomach. She laces tiny fingers through deep green, overgrown grass. Next to her, in a teal kiddie pool, Zane squats, poking his reflection. On a lawn chair perch Marielle's cameras. El Cheapo digital Canon for instant gratification, her heavy Nikon from college loaded with black and white film, and her newer Nikon F6 with color. She jokes her love affair with Nikon glass started before we met. Marielle stands, one eye covered still, staring into the sun. Sometimes I worry she'll forget the children entirely when she's working. When they're her art subjects, I fear she'll leave them standing in a river half naked for hours after she's finished, like the fruit subjects of her college still lifes that remained fermenting and molding in her room until I threw them away. I would protest against her using the kids as models altogether if her work wasn't so goddamn beautiful. Lana's 8 going on 30, her big blue eyes angelic. 6-year-old Zane looks like a wood sprite, all ribs and elbows, but his little biceps hint one day he'll be the jock in high school the girls will cry over. Zane stands to greet me, but Marielle barks at him not to move. He cowers back down over the water and resumes poking. She grabs the college Nikon and snaps a few photos. I step closer to see what she sees, get a sense of her perspective. Lana looks up, shielding her eyes from the sun with a hand, and says, "Dad, you're in my light." I step away from artist and subjects, pick up the cameras, and sit in the lawn chair. Marielle walks over, takes the Canon, and trades me the old Nikon. "What's that, Garfield?" She points at the newsprint wrapped vase. I'm surprised she noticed the package, or me for that matter. Her compositions consume her. I hand her the present. "Maybe it would work in your new project?" Marielle opens it. Like the blue, but the vase's neck is too small. She places the vase in my lap and strolls back over to the kids. "Zane, look at your reflection while you're poking." She takes some digital. Better. I am less necessary in the backyard studio than the lawn chair, so I go inside to start dinner. Soon, Marielle will be spent and the children starved. Goodness knows when or what she's fed them last. That's an exaggeration. Marielle's a fine cook. However, she prioritizes cooking, eating for that matter, below more creative pursuits. After starting marinara sauce, I swap work clothes for shorts and a t-shirt. Summer is most apparent in our garden, the common ground between Mariel and me. We tend plants and flowers with equal devotion. I pluck some basil leaves for the sauce. Mission accomplished, I inhale garden aromas for a moment. The sharp scent of tomatoes and green bell peppers, the sweet perfume of ripening strawberries. The wind shifts, and the mingled scents of the garden's flowers reach me. The acrid odor of marigolds, Mariel's darlings, the sweeter smell of petunias, my favorite. Mariel wraps her arms around my waist, squeezes. She startles me because I had my eyes and ears closed, focusing all energy to my nose. She kisses the back of my neck. I'll pick some flowers for that lovely vase. I meant it to be part of your project. We have plenty of vases. It's not right for the project. The thought was sweet. This conversation is a rerun of previous discussions about my role in her art. My contributions are never right for her work. Mariel's priorities rank art, kids, and then me. And though we share the kids, I feel left out entirely of her art. Mariel turns my face to her and kisses my chin. Don't be sour. I'm making an argument of a thank you, which is foolish. I sigh and let the point go. Again. I hold out the basil for Mariel to breathe in. The sauce smells delectable, dear. She strolls toward the flowers. Check on the children in the bath. Zane felt cold, and Lana had clover in her navel. The kids splash in the huge garden tub, swamping the bathroom rug as I enter. I'm grateful they're my children again, and not models. Look! Mom made me it today. Lana, naked except for her bracelet, holds her arm out for me to appraise as if she were royalty. Zane dumps a cupful of water on her head. Hey, she squeals and pokes his stomach. Dad, Zane says, Mom says you know about bookmaking. Can we make books this weekend? Your bracelet is lovely. I kiss Lana's pruny hand. And you, buddy, are on for Saturday. Lana giggles. Zane pumps his fist in the air and shouts yes a few times. They are such characters. I wonder which bits of their personalities came from Mariel and me, and which are from cosmic dust, past lives, whatever fills in the gaps. I say, finish washing your parts. I'll be back in a few to help you dry off. As I leave, Lana commands Zane to wash his parts from ears to toes. Bossiness she gets from her mother. In the kitchen, Mariel arranges cadmium yellow and Paranone orange marigolds in the cobalt vase. She washes her hands, then breaks spaghetti and eases it into a pot of boiling water. I say, tell me about your project, please. I'll surprise you. Mariel stirs the pasta. I hate surprises. I pause. I like being part of the planning, like I'm part of the process too. You are, even when you don't know it. She pats my cheek. Garfield, finish the garlic bread. I'll retrieve the babes. They must be pruny. The next day, when I arrive home from work, Zane sits crying on the front stoop. What's the matter, buddy? I sit and wrap my arm around his shoulders. He looks up, heaves a sob. I'm in trouble. Go see Mom. He sobs again, hangs his head. I cannot effectively comfort him until I know the whole story, so I head into the house. After dropping off my briefcase and loosening my tie, I find Mariel and Lana in the backyard. Lana, wearing a forest green fairy costume with pale blue gossamer wings, drapes over a branch like a jungle cat. Below her, as a safety precaution I assume, sits the kids' SpongeBob SquarePants beanbag chair. Lana plucks maple leaves and casts them into the breeze, where they flutter, exposing their Kelly green topside and pale underbellies. I say, what's Zane's story? Good, Mariel says. Now that you're home, Lana and I can get actual work done. Lana wraps her arms around the branch and swoops down like a fairy monkey. She swings back and forth a moment before she expertly misses the beanbag chair and lands on her feet. I suppress an urge to clap at her dismount. She's in cahoots with her mother, and her mother's in a huff. What happened? He's making me nutso. I can't work when he won't listen. Mariel picks up her cameras and nods to Lana to go into the house. You sent our son off bawling because he's not following your artistic direction? Don't go superior on me. Mariel, she cuts me off. I don't want to get into this now. I'm taking Lana to the park to finish these shots before the light sours. Mariel shoves past me toward the house. Lana hovers in the doorway, pirouetting. Damn it! Stop, I say. Listen to yourself. Mariel barks at Lana. Inside. Lana scurries in. Mariel walks back and gets in my face. She speaks slowly through clenched teeth. Not now. She turns and storms through the house with Lana chasing after her. I hurl the beanbag chair against the house. We never make a clear run through this topic. The plastic kiddie pool buckles and cracks from the water's weight as I overturn it and kick it repeatedly. I sigh. I have a job to do. I have to stop being the enraged husband so I can be the comforting dad. On the stoop, Zane sits, dry-eyed. He holds his head in a hand and drags his toe across the concrete step below him. I sit next to him. He says, Mom's real mad. She's mad at me, big guy. I shoulder bump him. I climbed higher in the tree than she said. Wanted to see how high I could get, but she said I was out of the shot. She yelled I could get hurt. Zane looks up, eyes brimming. I feel as if my tie were still on, cinched too tight, causing a dull, suffocating ache to spread from my neck down into my chest. Mariel's patience for Zane dissipates when she's focused on artisting instead of mothering. He says, I've never not been in trouble a day in my whole life. What abominable things we parents are. What a burden of power we bear. Intentions meaningless, our capacity to hurt our children is infinite. Poor Zane's been on the receiving end more and more lately. Just this summer he's gotten in trouble and upset over something insignificant at least 10 times. I rub tear trails from Zane's cheeks. I'm going to tell you something, a man-to-man secret. Zane nods, leans closer until our knees touch. Mom won't be mad anymore when she gets back. Anger's like snow. It melts unless a person tries to keep it cold on purpose. But love's like the geode in your room. It's hard and beautiful and can survive just about anything. Zane says, even lava? Of course, he doesn't understand. I'm making a lame extended metaphor to explain love to a 6-year-old, trying to express an idea I don't understand. Sure, I say. Even lava. The neighbor's sprinkler clicks on. The sound makes me feel lighter, eases the ache in my chest. As a child, we had a sprinkler toy that my brother, Lincoln, and I spent an entire summer running through until we were so pruny and grass-stained that Mom made us come inside each day. I'll replace the kids' pool with a sprinkler toy. Even after sunset, the girls haven't returned. I feed Zane grilled cheese and tomato soup, then set him up in the family room with his Spy Kids DVD. In the kitchen, I load the dishwasher. The room feels too quiet, so I turn on the washer. Mariel and Lana come home and find me in the kitchen. Mariel says, "Where's Zane?" I tell her he's watching a movie. She and Lana go to the family room and I hear them all laughing. Mariel returns to the kitchen. Apparently she's warmed to Zane, but kept her anger for me on ice. I lean on the counter and look out the window. Garfield, sometimes I don't know what to say to you. It's one thing that I rank below photography to you. It's another thing to do that to the kids. What is it with men and hierarchy? I love plenty of things. I don't spend time pondering which I love more than others. I turn and face her. It's great to hear you say that, but the things you do don't fit. If you'd shut up and stop being such a judgmental bastard, you'd see there's no line between my family and my art. I turn my back, put my hands flat on the counter to steady myself. I can't look at her while I say this thing I've minced words about too long. I don't want you to say something to Zane, something you'll forget the minute it leaves your lips, that he'll wait his whole life for you to take back. What the hell are you saying? She says. She steps toward me, but I choose not to turn. Zane said to me today that he's been in trouble every day of his life. Mariel interrupts. That's not true. It doesn't matter what's true. What Zane believes is what matters. Mariel places her hand between my shoulder blades. We'll make mistakes. All parents do. But I want us to do all we can to... Mariel says, I hear you. She rubs my back. I get it. Yeah? You want us to do all we can not to ruin them, she says. I hear you. Mariel walks upstairs before I turn. I expected to feel relief, but I'm weary. After putting the kids to bed, I join Mariel in our room. We make up. I watch fan blade shadows flicker on the ceiling. Tell me about the new project. Before drifting off, Mariel says, Garfield, tomorrow afternoon, all will be revealed. The next day, I go through my routine, wake, make breakfast, work. Phillips Prep offers optional summer programs, but kids don't want to be in summer school, even for art classes. Each summer we slog through, and my reward is one or two standout pieces that make kids realize they're talented. The day is without such an event. I speed 5 over the limit on the way home, anxious to understand what Mariel has been up to. At home, I rush through and drop my things on the kitchen counter. In the yard, Mariel stands back to me, looking at the maple tree. Without turning, she says, perfect timing. A dozen bottles hang from the tree's branches. Inside them, goldfish swim. The afternoon sun shines through the glass, casting pools of brick red, yolk yellow, and other colors of light filled with darting fish shadows onto a white sheet spread on the grass. Zane and Lana lie at the sheet's edge. They reach out, trying to catch shadowfish. A breeze blows through the branches, and the projected colors move as well as the fish. Dancing stained glass. Zane says, Mom says we can keep the fish if it's okay with you. Please, Daddy, Lana says. Mariel turns. See that? She points out a deep blue splash on the sheet. Found the last bottle today. Dad? Zane looks at me. Lana, too. I laugh. When do I ever say no to their whims? Mariel's or the children's. I'm the practical man. Of course. We'll have to get a proper tank for so many. Better shoot this while the light's perfect, before the fish boil. Mariel grabs the digital camera and snaps a test shot, which pleases her, so she hands the camera to me and picks up the Nikon with color film. She points the lens at Zane. You know you're my favorite male model ever, right? Zane smiles wide and reveals the hint of a dimple in his left cheek. Mariel snaps a shot. I set the Canon down. I'll see Mariel's prints later. For now, I enjoy the scene before me. Mariel shoots the kids trying to catch the fish. Then they lie on the sheet, a rainbow of orbs and fish shadows dancing across their bodies. After a half hour, the sun shifts. The light's angle no longer perfect. Mariel sighs. She collects cameras and tells the kids to get up and shake out the kinks. They run around the yard, chasing each other and screaming. Bottles no more. I pull Mariel to me and kiss her. Beautiful. Wouldn't have got it if you told me. I know. She watches the children a moment. Will you help them get the fish down? A bath is calling me. I tell her I will. In the kitchen, the kids and I fill large bowls with cool water. I cut the twine attaching bottles to branches and hand them to the kids. They take the bottles, one by one, and get the fish into bowls. After the fish are safe, I send the kids off to get dressed. The maple tree I'd always found so simple and lovely now looks bland. An ordinary thing that was extraordinary moments ago. I fall in love with Mariel again. I fall in love with the childhood we're creating together for Lana and Zane. Inside, I find the blue bottle Mariel bought for me and cut a length of twine. In the backyard, I hang the bottle from the maple. The sunlight has faded, a faint blue blob, all the bottle creates now. But tomorrow, the afternoon's brilliant sun rays will shine through, and the sapphire blue light dancing in the breeze will remind me. That was The Fine Art of Goldfish by Kristie Smeltzer. Information about the author will be found in the description section. I will be posting a new story twice a month, once on the 1st and once on the 16th of each month. So if you'd like a new story, come on back in 2 weeks. And if you would like to submit a story of your own that you'd like us to consider reading on the channel, there is a link for that below as well. Thank you for stopping by today, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.